Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District meeting. And at this time, I'm going to call this meeting to order and ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if the clerk would please call the roll.
Good morning. Director Bruins?
Present.
Carr? Frost?
Here.
Harris? Howell? Kennedy? Lee?
Here.
McGarvey?
Here.
Natoli?
Here.
Orozco? Peters? Cerna? Villegas?
Here.
Warren? Hume?
Here.
Our chair is
You
here.
have a quorum.
Okay, so I guess at this time we can start with consent items.
Excuse me, Madam
Oh.
Chair, I need to read the statement.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Not as easy as it looks, is it?
Oh, it's not.
Certainly make it
I
look easy,
happily
Pat.
hand it off. You make it look really easy.
Almost effortless.
This meeting of the Sacramento Regional County Sanitation and Sacramento Area Sewer Districts is being recorded and will be broadcast on Sunday, December 15th at 6 p.m. on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on the Comcast, Consolidated Communications, and AT&T Uverse cable systems. The meeting is closed captioned for our hearing impaired viewers in accordance with Government Code 54952.3. Compensation for meeting of these legislative bodies is required to be verbally disclosed. The amount of $100 will be paid for each member participating today as a member of the Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District, and the amount of $100 will be paid for each board member participating today as a member of the Sacramento Area Sewer District. Compensation for Sacramento County supervisors and City of Sacramento council members is paid to the county and city respectively to partially offset the costs of those governments. Compensation for other board members is delivered to the individuals. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should fill out a speaker identification form located at the back of chambers and hand it to the clerk. Please speak into the microphone when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Please silence your electronic devices at this time.
Okay, thank you. If you please address the flag and join Vice Chair Frost. Oh, we already did that?
We can do it again, though, if you want.
No, I told you, this is
make it look
not
easy.
easy.
We do it
Boy, I'll
twice.
tell you what. Okay. That's good. Chart your own path, I say. In that case, we will move on to Section 1, timed matters, the consent calendar. And I believe, Director Harris, you had some comments?
Yeah, I'd like to make a comment about number 2 on consent. The wet well project, Arden Wet Well, is in my district, in my council district. And I would like to say I'm delighted that WM Lyles was the lowest responsive and responsible bidder, because they are building the McKinley Vault project in my district. And I'd like to say that their service has been exemplary. You know, the work that's going on there is on time, on budget. It's really high quality, and they're a delight to work with. So I'm very pleased that hopefully this board will adopt the consent calendar and we can hire WM Lyles for this project.
Great. Thank you for those comments. Director Natoli, you had a comment
Yes,
as well?
yeah, just on item number 1, on the Sterling Caviar lease, the remaining portion, the 75 acres there of open space, we're going to look to do cattle grazing. Have it hasn't been grazed for some time, and
I'm going to ask Brian to come in and answer the question.
Okay.
Brian knows those inside and out.
I know he does. He probably got some cows you can bring over. So, so on the 75 plus acres, I guess 78 acres that we're going to look to execute a grazing lease. How do you propose to do the outreach? I know again, and the reason I asked that is I know that on the buffer lands and in some other park areas the county has, we have existing grazing leases. And so, do you have a list of folks that you're going to go out to the marketplace, or what's the arrangement that you're looking to strike there?
So the plan is to develop an RFP and solicit proposals for probably a 5-year lease. That's typically what we do. If the Sterling Caviar lease is approved today. That won't begin until January. We're already starting in the grazing season, so
Yes.
we're already into it. I'll be working with management, but we would contemplate doing just a short 1 year, not really a lease, but probably a permit to enter agreement to allow somebody to get in and just graze off the feed this year. Kind of helps us with our fuel management out in the area and manage the property. In there, we would probably just go to reach out to folks that have shown interest in that property in the past.
Because I believe solid waste, the county has a list, and so does parks, because we've used it both cattle grazing, but obviously sheep to manage some of the areas, and obviously there's different grazing regimes for that livestock. But I guess I'm curious though, if it hasn't been grazed, how has the fuel managed? Have you just mowed it? Have you what's happened with that acreage over the last?
So we've done just mowed fire breaks around the piece. The Sterling Caviar has always had the opportunity to do to sublease it, but they've been reluctant to do so just because of the administrative costs in managing a sublease. And so that was part of the reason that we took it out, is to give us some flexibility to.
So you got some built up.
There's definitely some built up thatch out there. Good. In fact, it's been hayed more recently than it's been grazed.
Oh, okay, it has been. So there's been a cutting on it.
That's still a good 5-6 years ago since the last time it was hayed.
Okay. Well, again, and one other question I have. So, what's the condition of the fences? Because if you haven't grazed it, and that for somebody that's going to, even on a temporary basis, come in is going to be potentially an issue if you haven't got good, pretty good fencing. I imagine we have a good along Franklin Boulevard. What's the rest of that?
Yeah, Bighorn Boulevard, Franklin Boulevard, Sims Road. There's probably attention that would be needed to. It's barbed wire fencing around there. We'd probably add strand of electric fence in there just to take some of the pressure off of that.
Because you have that suburban interface now. Obviously, a lot more traffic on those roads, and
So we typically put the fencing on the proposer or the lessee or whoever we have.
I know if you go for a longer term, but for a 1 year.
For a 1 year, yeah, we'd have to take a look at the condition of the fencing, and that would all go into the cost that.
So you might have somebody just come in and graze it for you this year, and fix the fence, and I think you need to be creative. If you're going to do a short term, I think you need to be creative. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this one. Yeah. It's in good hands with you, but I'm familiar with that because we've had that conversation about with both the Caviar folks, and others have proposed along the boulevard there for other uses, hydroponics and so forth. But
we do think grazing would be a good way to manage that.
Yeah, that's fine. So you're going to try to get somebody in there over right after the holidays. Is that the?
We're definitely gonna talk about it. So
okay.
We'd like to.
Okay. All right. Good. Thanks, Mr. Chair.
Great. Any other questions on consent? No? Is there a motion to approve items 1 and 2?
So moved.
Motion from Director Bruins, second from Director Frost. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Those items pass. On to item number 3, public comment for items not on the agenda. Is there anybody wishing to address something that is not agendized for today's meeting? Seeing nobody come forward, go on to item number 4, please.
Item number 4, acting as your Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District and the Sacramento Area Sewer District, district consent matters.
All right, any comments on these items, or item number 4? No? Is there a motion to approve?
Move approval.
Second.
I have a motion from Director Bruins, second from Director Natoli. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstentions?
Madam Clerk, do we need 2 votes on this because this is both regional SAN and SASD, or?
I believe we do.
I'll move it for
SASD?
as well.
Actually, both Ms. Bruins and Mr. Natoli are on SASD, so I think we're okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Given that it was unanimous? Okay. Very good. Item number 5, sir.
Item number,
I'm sorry.
acting as your Sacramento Regional County Sanitation District and Sacramento Area Sewer District, district separate matters.
So quickly, there's long tubes sitting next to your chair there, and some are already broken the surprise. These are the Buffalo's calendars that we annually produce, and it's produced by our own staff taking pictures on our Buffalo's. I want to acknowledge Roger Jones, who's wildlife biologist by primary profession, but I think his secondary profession is better than his primary. He's an excellent photographer. And he's been producing these pictures, and we have raving reviews for those from people that have seen those. So you have one for yourself. Our next meeting is going to be on January 22nd. There's no second meeting in December because of the holidays. Also, because the first meeting falls during the county recess, we will not have a meeting in first meeting in January. So the next meeting is January 22nd. And Chair Hume is looking at me and says, so I have to serve an extra meeting to be as a chair? So yes, the chairmanship changes on January 22nd. So recruitment, I told you that we have 2 director positions. One's already vacant, one's coming up. And so ISD director position interviews are going to happen next week. We have about 25 people that have applied for it, and we're interviewing 8 of them. We have some outside person also as part of the panel. My hope is, if we have the right person, my hope is to have the appointment made on January 22nd. If not, we may do both the operations director appointment as well as that at the end of February. So that's the plan for that. And I also shared with you the thought of the internal succession planning going on. So one of the roles that we are doing is the assistant district engineer. There's no formal position that exists in the organization, never did, because I'm leaving in about 18 months time frame. So I've asked internally who's interested. There's a couple of folks. So Rosemary Clark is starting to serve as the assistant district engineer role. So I've asked her, starting at the next meeting, take more ownership of the agenda, and I'll have to bring a duct tape so I can put it on my mouth, so I won't talk and let her talk. So that's what I plan to do for some months, and then Christoph will rotate in after her to essentially experience the same thing.
Be careful of your mustache, Prabhakar.
It would.
Don't put the duct tape on your mustache.
It's painful. Let me put it that way.
It'd be much more enjoyable if we could give Rosemary like a little fly swatter or something, and every time you start to speak up, she just...
She's actually very good at exercising those fly swatters.
Okay, good.
Quite good. We also have our first subcommittee meeting right after this board meeting. This is to look at the staffing services and a number of things that we're looking at. That's all I have.
Great. Director Lee, did you still have a comment?
Yeah, I just want to say, when I looked at the poster, I was looking for the white deer.
I'm sorry.
I was looking for the white deer, a photograph of the white deer.
The white deer.
There are no more white deer.
Because, I mean, it's pretty unique.
They got hit
I'm an
on the
avid
freeway.
outdoorsman, and it's pretty unique what we have in the bufferlands. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's not there anymore. They both got hit on the freeway.
Yeah.
Did they? I thought there was one who survived.
Yeah, both
the
of them
buck?
died in a short span.
Oh, that's terrible.
A lot of heartfelt feelings when that happened. It's unfortunate, but that's what happened.
Yeah. Wow. Thanks.
Director Natoli.
Yeah, just on that, is there any, again, deer can leap over fences, but is there any fencing on our preserve? And we have that corridor runs underneath I-5. Is there anything we can do to improve the barrier that doesn't discount the ability for wildlife should they risk it, but to...
It's interesting that we're contemplating that if we had excellent fencing, we probably wouldn't have had deer on our property. Somehow they showed up, and then since they're showing up, they're also leaving. So I'm going to ask Brian to see if any improvements that can be made. Brian, you want to address that?
That wasn't my question, but I mean...
I think I actually was, sitting on one comment there about the deer in general on the property. It's interesting. We have a herd of probably a dozen, maybe 18 deer on the property. Very seldom do we find any that have been hit on I-5. The only 2 that we're aware of actually happen to have been albino deer on the property. But whatever fostered those or brought about those first 2 deer, that pair still seems to be out on the bufferlands. We did have a sighting of a 3rd albino fawn this fall.
That's a news that I didn't. It's good to know.
And so we haven't seen it since for several months, but the pair that has been producing those albino deer are apparently still present on the property. So always keep your eyes peeled when you're driving along I-5. But as far as fencing to try and keep them off the freeway, that's not something that we have been contemplating too much. But as Director Natoli mentioned, there is a corridor beneath the I-5 along Morrison Creek that connects us to the rest of the Stone Lakes National Wildlife Refuge.
Would there be, following on though, again, maybe not fence the entire perimeter, but in the area where they would congregate around the watershed and actually, could move, back and forth, I guess to actually delta and move further south if they chose to. Is there anything that might facilitate, again, some containment there, recognizing obviously that...
Containment versus movement between the two areas?
Well, no, just containment only that you would, again, they can, move laterally, but I guess I'm just curious about in that area where they would congregate, where you might, coach them a little bit. Again, they're going to do what they're going to do, but it's unfortunate that you lost the 2 albino deer, but...
Yeah, it's certainly something that we can talk to some of our colleagues in wildlife
management, again, without, again, wildlife is that, but, the interface with the freeway is pretty treacherous. So.
Yeah.
And I think
we'll look at that.
Okay. Well, the speeds will be slower over the course of the next 3 years with all the construction, so they'll have a little more.
There's a silver lining for you.
I hope to think our construction isn't driving them across the freeways.
Yeah.
We have enough buffer for them to be...
No, I didn't mean your construction. I meant the I-5 reconstruction.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was talking about.
That could have an effect on it.
Okay. The question I wanted to ask, Mr. Chair, was just under your director's report, I know that it's anticipated any day that the notice of preparation for the next iteration of the tunnel is going to be issued, and I guess I wanted to be sure that, as we have in the past, both with BDCP and with the Twin Tunnel California Water Fix, that our staff will continue not only to monitor, but certainly weigh in as appropriate, keep this board appropriately apprised of, what concerns we would have. Just because they have shrunk the project to one tunnel doesn't mean the effects are going to be necessarily lessened, and that's part of the environmental review process. So I guess I would just encourage us, Prabhakar, I know you've dedicated staff in the past.
Yeah, our posture hasn't changed from previously. We're maintaining the same posture along with respect to that tunnel.
And we'll weigh in the environmental process if appropriate and so forth. I just want to
we have weighed in all along, and we even sued DWR for fee recovery. That's going through. We spent almost over $500,000 in expert testimony and all kinds of things for something that they have withdrawn because originally it was a twin tunnel project. And we tried to settle with them. We thought we were making a reasonable offer with some reduced things in exchange for a certainty that they will look at the impacts on our operations and mitigate them, which is what always been our issue. And they have not shown a positive inclination towards that. Absent that, we're going to have to continue to maintain our posture.
Again, I appreciate it. I recalled when you said it that we had, instituted litigation to recover costs, but I think that's something that obviously keep us apprised because it you're quietly doing that. But I think that reflects obviously the attitude, to at least some degree, of the department, relative to the previous project, and now they're going to, forge ahead here with, the next iteration, and they still haven't settled claims around the first time that they took a run at this thing. So.